Good morning and welcome to the show. Today we're going to tackle a very short and simple question. What are the must have contacts that you need to grow your business? These are the people that you absolutely need to have on speed dial in order for your business to grow. Now, the answer is quite simple, and I'm sure some of you have already figured it out already. First off, you need to have the most reliable contacts that are involved in business delivery. Now, this is what it means. If you're an architect, there are a couple of people that you need when it comes to delivering your products or your services. I'm sure you're the one who draws up the come up with the floor plan and this and this and that and that. But you're probably not the person who does all the after you drop the floor plan, and then you have to make multiple copies of that. And sorry, I'm not sure what the process is called. Architects, please don't begrudge me for using you guys as examples. I'm just trying to use as many products and services out there so that whoever it is that is listening to the podcast can see that it applies. All the things here that we talk about applies to their situation. So whether you're a brain surgeon, you're an architect, you're a carpenter, you're a plumber, you're a wedding photographer, or you're an engineer, all these things apply. So you need to have reliable contacts for the person. I think they're called lithographers. I think that's lithography. So you need to have reliable lithographers. Sorry, forgive me, on speed dial. So once you're done with the clients, you and Ms. Oketengbe have agreed. This is the floor plan. This is the elevation. This is the this. This is the that. And she has paid you your millions of naira fee. You need to make sure that you have reliable lithographers on speed dial. And let's see what else. So you're a wedding photographer. Of course, you're going to need to have people who are involved in your fulfillment, people who make frames, who make photo books. What else? Those sorts of things. So you need to have those people on speed dial. Now, the reason why these are must-have contacts that we need to grow our business is this. People do business with us because they expect a certain kind of result. And we cannot achieve that result without certain people who are our support staff or who are in our support ecosystem. And so we need to have those people available on speed dial. So if you are a wedding photographer and you do an absolute correct job, as in it's on the money, it's the best wedding photography ever, but your frame guy is late or is sloppy and does terrible work, or your book guys are late, or the printing might be nice, but then the binding is untidy. It affects the way that our clients and our customers receive the service, the products and the services that we provide. So that's the reason why reliable contacts that help us along with business delivery, support staff, fulfillment people, they are absolute contacts that we need to have to improve our businesses. Now, it's just not the people that we deal with in the business delivery phase or the fulfillment phase that we also need to have on speed dial. We also need a couple of people on speed dial, and those are people that our customers need after they do business with us. So, for instance, you're a graphic designer in the business to business space. That means you design graphics for business people who are trying to get other business people to do business with them, or retail customers to do business with them. So if you're a graphic designer in that space, obviously people who do business with you, Mr. Graphic Designer, they're actually looking for more profits, because people don't typically just design graphics so that they can sit around the office and look wonderful. Okay, let's see. Back to the wedding photographer example. The wedding photographer is opening his studio, and so he reaches out to you, Mr. Graphic Designer, to get some really nice wrapping for the studio outside, so that people who walk by the studio can see the wonderful wrapping on the door with the models and all the texts there to show what it is that they do and things of that nature. So the reason why wedding photographer picked up the phone to call you, Mr. Graphic Designer or Madam Graphic Designer, is because he's looking for more customers and more profits. Now, if you're a graphic designer and you know that the reason why wedding photographers are reaching out to you, and architects and any other person, is because they're actually chasing customers, wouldn't it make would it make sense for you to have some people on speed dial, like digital marketers or salespeople or those sorts of things. As in people who you can throw into the mix to have a successful marketing campaign. Now, the reason why this is important is because, well, first off, back to the previous episode about what customers really buy. Customers are buying a result. So if you bought into that philosophy and you are Mr. Graphic Design or Madam Graphic Design, after wedding photographer buys said design from you, it wouldn't be out of place to call him up in a month or a couple of weeks or whatever to say, hey, Mr. Wedding Photographer or Madam Wedding Photographer, how have you been? How's business been? I hope the print hasn't faded. I hope it's looking all right. Oh, by the way, have you been able to get any business off of that walk-in traffic? You guys talk about business a bit. If the person has gotten some walk-in traffic, but you don't think he doesn't think that they've gotten enough, this wouldn't be a bad place in the conversation to say, oh, you know what? I have a couple of contacts that you could talk to. I know Kunle, he's really good digital marketer, or I know so and so. He's a very good salesperson. Perhaps you should talk to him so that you can get better results out of all this collateral that you've done for me. Now, the reason why this is a good idea is because once you have other contacts like this that you can push the way of customers that you've done business with in the past and clients, then you're providing more value to the end consumer because you're helping them achieve their goal by giving them more useful contacts. So remember again, Mr. Wedding Photographer called you up, Madam Graphic Designer or Mr. Graphic Designer, because he wanted more customers. You delivered the design. Now, if at the end of the day he bought a wonderful design, but he thinks nothing came out of it, he didn't get any walk-in traffic, he didn't get any customers, he's probably not going to call you back in the future. Now, of course, we know that Mr. Wedding Photographer should not be blaming you, Madam Graphic Designer, for the lack of customers that came through the studio, the store, because lots of things are involved. Where's the location of the store? What kind of advertising is he putting out? Is he doing any promotions? Is he visible on Google? Is he visible on Instagram? There's a lot that goes into the mix, and so we can't blame you for everything. So this is not a knock on graphic designers. This is not to say that you guys are not providing value. But however, if you realize that these people are trying to get results, you call them up and you have some useful customers that are going to help enhance that results that you are trying to sell in the first place, then you seem to be a much more valuable guy. And that's the reason why Mr. Wedding Photographer or Madam Wedding Photographer, when they decide to open more locations because business has been successful, they'll pick up the phone and they will call you again. Because by providing useful contacts, you have delivered lots of value to him or her, which was more customers and more profits. So, summary. In running our businesses to be profitable, there are some contacts that we absolutely need to have. We need to have some people on speed dial who are reliable contacts when it comes to business delivery, when it comes to fulfillment. So, architects, you need to have correct, real nice, professional, timely lithographers on speed dial who are going to do all your reproduction work. Again, if those people are not called lithographers, architects, please forgive me. Hit me up on LinkedIn. Educate me. Let me know what those people are so that next time my examples will line up. If you're a wedding photographer, you need to have real solid professional people on speed dial. People who are going to do your albums, do your frames, stuff like that, because it affects what it is that the customer is going to receive at the end of the day. And shoddy business delivery and shoddy fulfillment means very little or sloppy value that the client has received. And then second category of people that we need on speed dial, absolutely, are those who might be involved after we have done our own job. So, Mr. Graphic Designer, you've done your own job, you've delivered the design, but then the person has to print out the design and then mount it on the studio building in order to attract customers. So it might make sense to have what are they called? People who put up images on billboards. I'm not sure what they're called. For now, let's just call them painters, although I don't think they're painters. So people who mount outdoor advertising, it would make sense that if you're a graphic designer, you have people on speed dial who handle outdoor advertising, who can do that sort of thing. Take the wonderful design, plaster it all over the office building. It makes sense to also have contacts for digital marketers, salespeople, blah, blah, blah. Because if you're in the business to business space, when people reach out to you, they are looking for people who will help them to sell market, in quote. So anybody involved in promoting or selling market might not be a bad idea for you as a graphic designer to have all those contacts. So if we have these contacts, of course, it's not in isolation of everything else. So there's a lot of things that need to work together in having a sales framework, in handling your promotions, your branding, stuff like that. So there's lots of things that are involved in doing that. But all things being equal, assuming you have patched up all those things, if we take care of these two particular points, you should find that business is running a whole lot smoothly because our customers are going to be, and clients will be receiving a lot of value at the fulfillment stage and then after the fulfillment stage because we're worried about the results that they get and we're helping them to be successful in that. So we've hit the 10-minute mark and I'll wrap it up to a close here. Thank you very much for listening to today's episode of the Sales for the Nigerian Business Person. I'll catch you guys at the next episode.